thinking in frameworks is actually a smart move because the principle is that frameworks simplify complexity. When you have frameworks and a pattern to think about certain thing in a certain way, you reduces margin of error, and it actually simplifies things down for you. And what actually happens is that you can focus on execution. So frameworks matter because frameworks give you clear structure which prevent scattered thinking. So rather than thinking randomly in a sporadic way, when you have a framework, when you have a structure, you get clarity and you actually have a sense of progress. Then mental models are patterns which help predict outcomes. So when you have a framework, then you can predict and you can analyze actually what will happen. So mental models are amazing way to clarify and structurize your process of thinking. Then frameworks reduce hesitation and it actually increases the speed of decision. When you don't have frameworks, then you have to think everything from bottom up. But when you have a framework and when you can think about certain things in certain way, then you can reach to a conclusion and then you can execute on that and work on that and take action immediately. So frameworks reduce hesitation. Along with that, frameworks give you a consistency plan, same inputs, repeatable reasoning. So when you have frameworks, then you don't have to reinvent the wheel, as they say. And when you give it the same inputs, you will have the same repeatable reasoning and outcomes. Then frameworks also bring clarity in chaos because structure brings order to confusion. So for example, when you have a framework for practicing a skill, for example, if you're playing sports and you start with warm-ups, then you do drills, then you have a match, and then you analyze. So when you practice in such a way, you get clarity and you know how to execute. In the same way, when you're writing or preparing for exam, so when you know that you have to complete 10 chapters and you have 2 hours every day and you have 5 days, then you can divide those that time, and then you can, along with that, you can also know the definition, the keywords and examples. So when you know these things in theoretical subjects, it simplifies your work and it makes you recall better when you're writing answers in exam. So yes, when you have a framework, it simplifies your thinking and you can focus and you can actually excel in execution. Then frameworks also help you with better communication. Ideas become easier to explain when you have framework, and along with that, when you have a visible structure. Like I'm a great advocate of graphic organizers. Even in back in the school, I promote this, that students should place information in different boxes or the spaces which are already designed for them, so that they have clarity. Because all knowledge is basically abstract, and when you add a structure around it, it really helps children in learning in effective way. So ideas become easier to explain, and of course frameworks help you with problem solving. It breaks big issues into small parts. So for example, when we are studying history, so we know the era, we know the important characters, we know the reasoning, and we know the conclusion. And then we have what lesson do we learn for life from this topic. So when you have a framework around certain subjects, it absolutely helps you in understanding information and makes your life simpler. It helps you with learning faster. It connects new information to existing models. And the final truth is that frameworks turn thinking from reactive into strategic. And this is so important piece of information, which is very helpful. And I would think that structureize everything in your life into frameworks. So if you're learning, if you're a student, then have a framework around each and every subject. If you're a professional, then have a framework in the way that you execute your day. If you are an entrepreneur, then you should have a framework. For example, a simple funnel, sales funnel is a framework. You attract some people, then then you increase their interests, then you make them buy, and then you have repeated customers. So when you have a framework around things, it makes your work easier.